Hello, I'm Luis.
And I'm Benedict, and we're from Tropika Club Magazine. So today we are talking about what you should do when one of your household members or people living inside your home have COVID-19. Because it can be very chaotic.
Yeah.
I have had friends who have gone through it before. It was last minute. My friend's brother got COVID-19. It was an ART test. It was positive, and then nobody really know what to do, so she has to go in and control the situation. Then she was, because I was going to a dance class with her. Then she was already downstairs from the studio, but then she got the call from her mom. Then she straight away go home.
Okay.
So she exercised caution because she doesn't want to get.
But did MOH actually contact her?
That one I'm not really sure, but I think she should have gotten the instructions. I think she gotten the instructions a day afterwards, the morning after. Then have to do testing and all that. So there's a lot of procedures that not a lot of people know.
Yes.
So there's even a Telegram group chat already for people who are going through it, who didn't really receive any information from MOH yet. Yeah, so today this video we're going to talk about that, what are the things you should know, all the nitty-gritty details. We try to cover it in this video.
Yeah, I feel that most of us, or most of the Singaporeans living in Singapore, they actually don't know what to do if they are in close contact with someone and they don't receive any information or SMS from MOH. So it's example, maybe if let's say my trace together, there's a close contact, high risk, but I'm so do I have it as well? Or if I notice that, just now the party I went, one of my friend got it, and then, so do I have it or what? So do I go to test, or do I go to report to, who do I report to in order to not commit a crime? Because you are supposed to isolate yourself, and so what should I do? I really have no idea. So today what we are going to cover is actually what you should do and what you should not do when you suspect yourself having COVID-19.
Yeah, so before we go in, just a little overview about the COVID-19 situation in Singapore. So as of now, we have swapped 19 million tests. 19 million tests for all Singaporeans.
Okay.
And then the average daily number of swabs, we actually have 67,000. So 67,000 people a day actually have swab tests. So, and then we have around 1,100 people who are hospitalized in Singapore, and then 17 people are in the ICU, and 147 requires oxygen supplementation, so they need the oxygen mask.
I think the situation is actually getting quite bad.
Yeah.
We're actually supposed to live with this situation now.
Yeah.
That's why the cases are keep spreading. So it's actually on our part to actually look after each other and make sure or prevent the virus from spreading furthermore.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to note is that actually, I think if I'm not wrong, 90-something%, over 90% of the cases, they are only having mild symptoms. But it's still very important that you stay safe. You always keep your mask on. If you haven't been vaccinated, try and get vaccinated. I think nowadays it's very easy to get a slot already.
Yep.
So as of 21st September 2021, there are 1,109 cases that are currently. Oh, sorry, I repeated that. So over the last 28 days, there are 13,000 infected individuals. And I think towards the past week or so, we've been hitting over 1,000 cases a day. Then so
the number is quite big though.
Yeah, so it's slowly increasing. So hopefully it will plateau. But as I said before, actually 97.9% only had mild symptoms or even no symptoms.
Okay.
And then only 1.9% requires oxygen supplementation, and 0.2% only 0.2% require ICU care, and 0.06% has died. So the situation, there's a lot of cases, but luckily with vaccination, all the symptoms are mild, or there's even no symptoms. But still, don't get long COVID. I've heard a lot of horrible things about it. You lose your sense of smell.
Yeah, it's still serious over the long run. Especially when your lungs are damaged. Yeah, you never know when you get old what will happen.
And there's not a lot of information about how long COVID will actually affect, because it's a very new disease. So not enough research and not enough research are being done on the effects of long COVID yet. So let's move on to the crux of today's video.
So I think the first few questions that usually our readers or people who want to know is, what you should do if you get COVID.
So you are required to take a PCR test from the start of the 10-day quarantine order. So the moment, let's say you already swab test and then it's a positive case, right? So you have to take the PCR test on the first day of the quarantine order.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then hopefully
during this period, where should they be?
Also, for the PCR test, right, there are actually regional centers where you can take the test. So there should be one that's near your home. Actually, I go before because I was at Bugis Junction.
Okay.
So I was like part of the cluster.
Oh dear.
but my PCR test was negative, so that's why I'm here doing video with Louis. Then so you have to visit the regional screening center for the PCR test, and then I've been there before. It's usually like a secondary school. So the contact person, but
usually for this, does it apply to the close contact person? Or?
No, this one is only for person who have the COVID-19.
Okay.
So the person who is actually infected.
I see. Okay, so actually what should you do if your close contact test positive for COVID-19?
So in that case, right, you receive like a quarantine order, sort of like an SMS by MOH within the next 24 hours.
Okay.
And then the moment you get it, right, you have to immediately travel home. So no matter if you're at work or like you're going out, right, you have to immediately travel home. And then you cannot make stops along the way. So like, for example...
Even NTUC and food center?
No, you cannot.
Like, because tapao some dinner back before I quarantine at home.
Buy your favorite chips for Netflix. For 10 days of Netflix. So yeah, it's best if you don't, because we don't know how like the government will enforce it. So there are some cases where people are actually heavily fined and even got jail terms.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so like, they receive quarantine order, but they still go and have lunch with their friends and go like fair price to like buy their groceries before the quarantine order. But according to like the government regulations, you're supposed to straight away go into self-isolation, like go home and then without any stops along the way.
Okay.
So when you're at home, you have to keep the windows open so you allow the ventilation to come in, so you don't let the COVID-19 virus spread and accumulate inside your room. So with open air, since the virus, the COVID-19 disease is airborne, right? So you having that airflow helps. And then also you can't have any physical contact with anyone at home. Okay. Yeah. So
means your parents will have to lock themselves in the room. You have to lock yourself in the room.
Yeah. So for example, your parents got like COVID, right? So they have to lock themselves in the room. And then you can still, be around the house and everything, but they have to be isolated. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to give them food, you can leave it outside their door, and it's like like the contactless kind of like Grab delivery, those kind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
when do you start to take all the tests, things like that?
So once you get an SMS, right, I think there's also this direction for you to give take the PCR testing at like a regional testing center. So
the screening center.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So the regional screening center.
Does the regional center one do the PCR one or the ART one?
Oh, it's the PCR one.
Okay. Actually, what's the difference?
Oh, the PCR one is like the gold like way inside your nose one, like that one. Yeah, that one is. I know. I tried before. So that one is like it's much more accurate because it goes right in.
But how long does the result take to come out?
24 to 48 hours. So that one takes longer. So the ART one is just like the cotton swab test. So that one very fast.
Oh, I remember doing that.
Yeah,
so ticklish. You just go in and and come out.
Yeah, that was like much easier, and then it's like it's faster also. Like you can get the results like in 30 minutes, but that one is less accurate. So that's why like in the beginning of the whole quarantine order, right? You have to take the PCR first. So just to make sure that you're also not infected. Okay. Yeah. So after that, you already start the quarantine order. Then you have to isolate at home, and then the whole sort of like idea of it is to make sure to stop the spread of the COVID-19.
So how long is this quarantine order? You have to isolate yourself?
10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So after the first day, you go to PCR testing at the center. Then like on every day onwards, right, you also have to take an ART test. Yeah, so I think I already received it in my mailbox. Like I have like a few boxes of
I did receive it as well.
Yeah. So, but I think you also, if you don't have enough, like of course you have to maybe buy on Shopee. I bet there's some on Shopee or Lazada. Yeah.
So how do you like? So on the 10th day, let's say, today is my 10th day. So what should I do?
So on the last day as well, you also have to like take the PCR testing at the regional screening center. So for both the first day and the 10th day, right, you actually have to apply for a slot online. So I also did that too because I was part of the Bugis cluster. Okay. But it's okay, I'm positive, so that's what I'm doing.
You're what?
Here. I'm COVID-19 negative. Oh my god. Don't scare myself. So no, I'm COVID-19 negative. As of now, hopefully, for the near future.
So for the quarantine order one, right? The moment you take the PCR test and the result comes out on the 10th day, you can exit the whole quarantine order thing.
Yeah.
Is there any monitoring period after that?
I think for the next 4 days also you have to also take the ART test. Yeah,
I think just to be sure. To be safe as well.
So it's like having that 14 days quarantine period from before. Yeah.
But for doing this whole quarantine, like let's say the 10 days quarantine, right? Means we can't leave the house to get food and everything. We can only get delivery, and there can never be visits from anybody also, right?
Yeah.
So it's just by yourself.
Yeah, by yourself. So have to buy your groceries online, and then you can't have any visitors because they would just defeat the whole purpose. Yeah. So to help people sort of cope with this sort of challenge, right? So there's actually the quarantine order allowance. Oh. So yeah. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
So once you have completed with your quarantine order, right? So you get you can apply for claims for up to $100 a day. Yeah. So
10 days. 1,000 eh?
Yeah, so $1,000 for you to stay home and be safe.
Okay.
Singapore government very good.
There's some incentive to stay home for 10 days.
Yeah. But seriously, don't get COVID just for it. It's not worth it. So if this applies if you are self-employed like a Singaporean citizen or PR, so basically you're a freelancer, full-time freelancer. Then
but for this, let's say for this whole 10 days quarantine order, right? Let's say I'm a full-time employed person, right? Will this be considered MC or hospitalization?
Yeah, so it's called it's a paid sick leave. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So by right, you're supposed to get a paid sick leave for those 10 days that you are on quarantine.
So on top of the paid sick leave, I get 1,000 as well.
No. This one, the quarantine order allowance, right? That one is for freelancers.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, they good. Maybe that's why the kids are so high. No, it's not. Okay, so it doesn't apply if you are S-Pass holder or work permit holder who began your quarantine order after the 1st of April 2020, because the government already gives rebates on levies, and there was a waiver of levies already, and also foreign domestic workers are also not eligible for the quarantine order allowance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think reasonable, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope I don't serve the quarantine order, because I always still want to take dance classes.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you just need to be take care of yourself, avoid crowded places, and just stay safe during this period. As much as we don't want this to happen, but there's still a lot of people, especially malls. There's still a lot of people going there.
Yeah.
So we just have to avoid the crowds and just always wear a mask.
Yeah, Haidilao can read. So okay. So I'm curious. Then, do you know how would you be monitored when you're at home serving the quarantine order?
How will we be monitored?
Yeah.
Like in what sense?
So because you're at home, right, and then you're not supposed to go out, right, then the government will also need to find a way to make sure that you're at home. So do you know what are the different sort of devices or things that they can help you?
I think if you kind of defy the whole thing, right? They kind of have to make you wear trackers on you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And because for every day when you're doing the testing as well, you have to submit the test online as well.
Oh,
so that's how they track your progress or whether you have or don't have the COVID-19 as well.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's how they kind of track us staying at home also. Yeah, but let's not go there. Just be good and stay at home.
Yeah, and then so if you are unemployed and in quarantine, right, and then you can actually go and look for the quarantine order agents. So there are agents who can help you out. Just so, like, for example, if you're a freelancer, right, the quarantine order agents can help you apply for the quarantine order allowance.
Okay.
And then you also can get other social and financial assistance if you're eligible for it. Yeah, so I think the MOH will let you know who your quarantine order agent is. Yeah, so just stay calm, just quarantine, just stay at home, breathe, take this time to also rest. And then also,
I think this period, they also like helping a lot of people who gets this quarantine order to tide past this period as well. So I think such positions like all the quarantine order officers, agents, like they help us to apply all these assistance, the grants, that for especially freelancers. Yeah, so during this period of quarantine order, technically they have no business, no work kind of thing. Yeah, so it kind of affects their daily livelihood as well.
Yeah. So what else we didn't cover? I think that's most about it. Yeah. So
I think that's all about what we need to know if like your close contact test positive for COVID-19.
Yeah.
I think hopefully we have provided enough information for you if you fall into this situation and you don't know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any other questions, leave it on the comments. We'll try to cover it and be it on an article on Tropika Club Magazine or maybe in another video. So yeah, let us know what you think. And also, as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then do check out Tropika Club Magazine for all the business rankings, the top business rankings in Singapore, as well as other very
especially supporting local businesses.
Yeah. And that's it for today. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.